Even after Tuesday, your calendar says WTF. This is Epic Thoughts. What up, everybody? Welcome back to Epic Thoughts. I'm your host, Ramon Merchant, president of Heritage Park Productions. Thank you for coming and joining me again on this Tuesday evening. Man, we got a lot to get into, so we're just going to get right into it. Man, congratulations to LSU women's basketball. Winning the Final Four this last weekend. I am super pumped. And shout out to UConn winning the men's Final Four championship. Both teams had an incredible run, had a incredible season. Actually, both teams had really good seasons. UConn was almost like a no-brainer. LSU, though, I'm going to let you know they surprised me a little bit. I wasn't expecting them to – I had them going to, like, the 8, but I didn't have them going to the Final Four. And they pulled out some great victories, man. They had some great wins. Now, the men did their thing, UConn did their thing, but I was really, really into the women's this year. Caitlin Clark was phenomenal. If you don't know who she is, Caitlin Clark plays for Iowa, and first of all, she was the AP Athlete of the Year. She just got the award for AP Athlete of the Year. Had an incredible season. I thought she was going into the W next season. W meaning the WNBA. And listen, don't get on here and start talking crap about the WNBA. They balling, okay? They are hardcore balling. I love basketball. I love watching the basketball. I love the NBA. My Clippers are hurting my heart right now. I'm kind of scared going to the playoffs. But WNBA, man, I gave it a really good chance the last 2 seasons, and I'm really impressed with what I've been seeing. I'm a hardcore Las Vegas Aces fan, and don't come at me saying, name 5 WNBA players. I can name more than that. I watch the games. I'm actually, my kids and I are going to go to opening day, Vegas Aces and the Los Angeles Sparks. Yes, we're going to opening day in Las Vegas. We are excited to go. Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be a blast. I cannot wait. It's fun. And it's something that my kids like watching. Gia loves WNBA. She loves watching the Aces. So she's always asking me, are the Aces playing? When are they playing again? Is Kelsey Plum in? Is Chelsea Gray in? Like and you know what? God bless her, bro. Some part of me thinks that she getting into it because I'm into it, or does she naturally enjoy it? I don't care. We watch the Aces. So don't give us any flack about WNBA. It's not worse basketball. It's incredible. It's competitive. It's team basketball as opposed to the NBA has gotten to such an individualized game. It's weird. It's not weird. It's really good. It's a good product. But the WNBA holds its own. I say all that to say, Caitlin. I wrote down her name. I keep forgetting it. Her last name. I keep wanting to call her something else. Caitlin Clark is. I thought she was going to be in the league. And I thought Angel Reese was going to be in the league too next year. They're both coming back. So this is going to be really fun to see. Anyways, Caitlin Clark, bro, this girl could drop 40 on you and not even think about it. Like, she was actively dropping 40-point triple doubles. Now, if you don't know anything about Basketball Reference, 40-point triple doubles, you don't even see dudes in the league doing that as consistently as Caitlin Clark has been doing it. That means she's got 40 points, double-digit assists, double-digit rebounds. So she's killing people, bro. She reminds me a little bit of Sabrina Ionescu, who played for Oregon for a very long time, was trained under Kobe. Kobe was like somebody who really, really honed her into the game, and Kobe was a big fan of Sabrina Ionescu, and Sabrina now plays, I believe she's over in New York with the Liberty. But I love her game. Her game is clean. It's so clean. But they kind of, I get a little bit of Ionescu vibes from Caitlin. Sabrina has broken all kind of records and stuff like that. But Caitlin had just a phenomenal year, to the point where if I was that guy, I'd go to the league. But here's the controversy that I want to share with, and it's going to take me into a rabbit hole. Just stick with me for a second. So she's really good. Okay. there's no doubt about how good this young lady is. She can score at will. She splits defenses. She can hit the three. She's dominant in the paint. She grabs down boards. She gets other players involved. And when you get to that point, and we've seen young people do it, we've seen men do it, when they get to the point where they're in the zone and they're killing it and they're feeling the vibe, they'll start talking. They'll start talking some trash. They'll start having gestures. Now, me, I'm a kind of guy. I don't like the gestures. I hate when people start screaming, "Let's go!" and it's the second quarter and it's a 2-point game. Like, calm down. Like the game just started, and but people that they need that push to get them to the next level. They need that push because we gotta get there. Let's go. And so cats do that all the time. And I'm not really here for it, but whatever. If it gets you up in the morning and it motivates you, then that's fine. Whatever. You won't even see me doing that in like I have friends who I play in 2K online and they'll hit a 3. Let's go. I'm like, bro, calm down. Like, and then they still lose. It's hilarious. But anyways, Caitlin Clark's that kind of a player. She wears her emotions on her sleeve. When she gets a lead, she's on fire. When she's hot, she's loud and she's vocal. So throughout the whole tournament, she had a great tournament run. They're knocking teams out. But I'm seeing some things happen. I'm seeing she's doing the John Cena, can't see me. I love when John Cena does one. Other people do it. It's hilarious. But she's doing the you can't see me taunting. There's even a play, I can't remember who it was against. I think it was during the Sweet 16. She knew this girl couldn't hit a 3-pointer to save her life. And not only did she not guard her, not only did she not play up on her, and it was her guy, it was her assignment. Not only did she not guard that person, she just let that person sit out there at the 3-point line, and she shrugged her off. Like, go ahead, do what you're going to do. If you're going to shoot it, shoot it, whatever. Like, totally nonchalant her. Just did this with her hand. That was mad disrespectful. I ain't going to lie. That was disrespectful. I kind of like, oh, that sucks. That's an L. Guess what, though? She didn't shoot because she knew she couldn't hit that shot. So, I mean, was she wrong? It was very unsportsmanlike at the time. It was disrespectful. But, if you hit that shot, hit the shot in her face and give it back to her. Anyways, my point is, during her career at Iowa, and maybe even growing up in high school, I can't really speak on that, but I can speak on what I saw during the tournament. She's talking stuff. She's pointing at her ring finger, but she's backing it up. You know what I'm saying? She's playing a hardcore game. Nobody's saying nothing about this stuff or flagging our homegirl, pointing at her ring finger. No one's saying nothing to Caitlin Clark. Now, it's important for the story, and it shouldn't be, but it is. It's important to the story for people to know Caitlin Clark is white. Okay, she plays for Iowa. She's a white girl, looks like Brianna Stewart. If you don't know who Brianna Stewart. Yeah, Brianna Stewart for Seattle. She's another basketball player. She looks a lot like her too. So, anyways, we get to the championship this weekend, and I'm rooting for Iowa to win this whole thing, especially after the Sweet 16. I was like, oh, Iowa got this. They got to get it. They had a great game. They knocked out South Carolina on Friday night, which was an incredible game because South Carolina has been undefeated for like forever. They haven't lost all season. So they were 33-0 or 34-0, something like that. They had a perfect season. And so when I saw that game, I was like, I had to watch that game. Like South Carolina and Iowa, yes, I'm here for this. And South Carolina is a squad. They're a squad, and Iowa took them out, very convincingly. So I'm thinking this is Iowa's to win. But there's a school out there, LSU, and LSU has a star named Angel Reese, okay? Angel Reese is a baller, bro. She reminds me of an A'ja Wilson type vibe. A'ja Wilson for Las Vegas Aces. A'ja Wilson is probably one of the best in the game right now, A'ja Wilson. But Angel Reese, she on her way, man. She up there. And so if Angel Reese has something to say about it, Iowa will win unless Angel Reese got something to say about it. And on, I believe it was Saturday night, Angel Reese and the LSU Tigers had something to say about it. And they put the hurting on Iowa, crushing the Cinderella story because Iowa essentially basically LSU made their own Cinderella story. You know, Angel Reese really took it to them and gave it to them during the game. You know, but listen, Caitlin Clark still had 40 points. She still had a triple double. She was playing her game. She was ready to go. She was taking this game to the next level. She was about to get herself a title, and I believed it. So in the moment in the heat of the battle, she's still doing her thing. She's hitting shots. She's looking at LSU bench. She's doing this move and stuff like that. Nobody says nothing. Nobody says nothing. She's even kind of she's I think she hit she had like 3 techs and didn't get kicked out the game. You know, she had tech for like tossing a ball because she wasn't like happy with the call and stuff like that. So Caitlin Clark is getting away with a lot. And but she's playing her heart out. The game gets close to the end. LSU comes up big in the clutch. Angel Reese comes up big in the clutch. And they beat LSU. They killed the sleeping giant, man. They slayed that giant, and they got themselves the NCAA championship for the women's. So at the end of the game, this is where the controversy comes in. At the end of the game, Angel Reese does the "you can't see me" John Cena to Caitlin Clark, and then does the pointing at her ring finger. Now, let's put it in perspective. She's watching Caitlin Clark do this the whole tourney. Not only that, she's seeing her do it the whole tourney. She does it to one of Angel Reese's teammates, like in her face, like after she hits a 3. So Angel Reese wanted to make it known, like, yo, you can't see me. I got this thing. I won it. I got the ring. She points at her ring finger. Monday morning, Twitter, Sports Center, ESPN is going off. People are losing their mind. Not because of Caitlin doing it the whole tourney, but because Angel Reese is doing it. And they're saying this is disrespectful. How dare you do this kind of reaction? How dare, this is no place for basketball for this behavior. Like it's retarded. It's retarded. Angel Reese is 20 years old. She's a young girl. She's 20 years old, going back to LSU. I thought she was going to the league. She going back for one more year. They're both going to be tough in the dub. But they're saying all this crap about that this was inappropriate, that this was not classy, that this was out of the realm of expectations for people to carry themselves on the basketball field. And I'm not the one to talk about race in situations, but here I feel like, why all of a sudden this was disrespectful? Why all of a sudden that this is disharmonizing the game of basketball? Why are we calling this bad sportsmanship? Caitlin did it the whole tournament, and no one said nothing. I didn't even say nothing because it's so part of athletic culture. You know what I'm saying? I hate it when Tyreek Hill for the Dolphins, when he catches a touchdown pass and he outruns you while he's running to the end zone, he does the peace sign like deuces. Everybody does it. The hand over the eye is the John Cena move. We're taking it from John Cena, and it's used everywhere. Everywhere. You know, I coach Little League Baseball. A kid steals second base, and he's doing this with his fingers, and then he's doing "you can't see me." It's everywhere in sports. But when Angel Reese does it on the national stage, on TV, the world is outraged. Let me ask you this question. Let's ask a real, honest, hard question. Are we outraged because she's black? Are we outraged because it's a woman? Are we outraged because it's a black woman? And you know what? I'm here today to just put the question out there. People have to look deep inside their heart and answer the question. And here's the thing: if you answer the question no, then you have to answer why it's different for Angel and not for Caitlin. If you answer the yes, you have to ask, why is it, and why do we allow this kind of stuff to happen? I'm just the one bringing out the question. I'm pointing it out because it's disturbing. We want so badly to live in this country where we want to give the illusion. Well, right now it's an illusion. It's an illusion that everyone's treated fairly and everyone's equal. Okay. And I don't talk about race, and I'm really not making this about race because it could be about race. It could be about It could be about gender. It's about gender, either male or female. I'm not talking about all the other genders out there. I'm just sticking to scientific, biological genders. Okay. It could be male or female issues, women. It could be that. It could be social economic status. We're given this illusion that everyone's treated fairly, but I gotta let you know, they're not. People are not treated fairly. People are treated different because of how they vote. People are treated differently. Listen, people are being treated differently by the phone they use. By the phone they use. Can you imagine that? Like, there's actual people who were like, I don't want to say the word racist because racist is about race, but they're classist, or they just were like, man, I get flack all the time from my friends, and listen, I got really, really, really thick skin, so I don't care. Like, I generally don't. I'm just using it for an example. I get crap because I'm an Android user. And listen, they're joking, but they're not joking, right? Because I can understand the frustration when people all they do is voice memo, and they want to voice memo me something and they realize they can't do it because I got Android. That pisses them off. It pisses me off too. So I'm not sitting here to say that they're wrong. I understand their frustration. So when they joke about it, it's ha, but I know they're serious too. So let's just put that out there. But my point is, there's the illusion that everyone's treated equally. But the truth is we're not. We're not. We're not treated equally. Okay? Socioeconomic status. There's a divide. Politicians, wherever you view on stuff politically, you got now it's weird because nowadays you can be Democrat, Republican, and people say cool, but now you got to be very weird. And even me, they'll be like, well, people ask me because I do ministry stuff, they just assume I'm one way, so they'll have to ask me like, are you a Republican? And then I explain where I stand in this whole political atmosphere. And it's weird because now I'm like, people shouldn't have to ask. They should just love me for who I am, because I'm gonna love them for who they are. We're given this illusion that everything's treated equally, and you know what? It's just not the case. I mean, even in Christianity, right? The denominations split us up, right? If and I don't want to call out any denomination, so it's going to be hard for me to kind of break this down. But for those of you guys who don't know, Christianity has several different denominations within Christianity. So there's Calvary Chapel. Well, even though Calvary Chapel is a church in itself, it's become its own denominations. And there's Assemblies of God. Then there's Baptist. Then there's Presbyterian. Then there's Lutheran. Then there's, but then those are different sects. And then after the different sets, then you have different denominations. We have Assemblies of God. You have Pentecostal. You have Pentecostal Church of Christ. You got Church of God in Christ. Then you got Reformed Baptist. It's just the list goes on and on and on and on. And sometimes people will start to assume that people think a certain way because they have Assemblies of God church, or they go to a Pentecostal Church of God, and then there's small little minutia. There's small little differences that make each each denomination different. So we're given this illusion of choice, and we're also given this illusion that everyone's equal. The truth is they're not. Everyone's not created equal. All right. My daughters turned 10 today. Okay. 8 years ago, when Bronny James turned 10, they weren't, even when they were born, they weren't equal. Okay. Bronny had a lot more opportunities than my daughters did. Okay. They're not equal. Now, with that being said, I know that I'm not equal in a lot of areas. I know that as much as we want to say that, we're equal in this country, we're not that equal. Okay. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. And I'm not here to debate that. It's just what it is, because people want to debate it because they feel bad about them having advantages or whatever. There's people in this country who came into this world or came into this game with a disadvantage. It's just what it is. Right? Now, I say that to say this. Just because you are brought on this planet on a disadvantage does not mean that you have the right to point out everyone else's advantage, that you have the right to rest on that disadvantage, make excuses on it, or not try hard enough, right? So let's put this thing in this perspective, and then let's put responsibility on it. Okay. I'm just going to say it. So people think because blacks have a disadvantage. A lot of blacks think that we have disadvantages. Now, even within that, now let me say this though, even within that, there's different. Like I said, Bronny James has different advantages that my kids don't have. Okay. That doesn't mean that my kids can rest on the fact that just because they're living in a disadvantaged situation, which is not that disadvantage, it's not like they're growing up in the hood and they got they they just don't have the opportunities that Bronny has. Okay, that makes it different. But there's something that we need to know, and let's put some responsibility and some facts on this. All right. Bronny James was born to, if you don't know who Bronny James is, Bronny's the son. I think he's the oldest son of LeBron James and his lovely wife. Excuse me, can't remember her name. We'll call her Miss James. He is born into the James brand. He's born into the LeBron James fan. Now, now here's the deal. He still, with the advantage given to him, he still has to take responsibility, and he still has to manage himself, and he still has to take responsibility for his actions, and he still has to live above the line. He still has to participate in practice. He still has to make sure that he is educated in his area, what he's trying to do. Listen, the advantage does one thing. It opens the door for him. Just because he's the son of LeBron James, the door has opened for him, but he still has to work out. He still has to learn the game. He still has to be able to play. He still has to dribble the ball himself. He still has to compete. He has the opportunity that I don't get, but he still has to make it work with the opportunity given to him. Okay. So let's flip it. We don't have the opportunity, but if you work hard, if you keep hustling, if you do what you got to do, the door will show itself to you. Okay. So we can't sit there and yes, there is a disadvantage. But if we rely and sit on the disadvantage, we're messing ourselves up in the long run. We can't do that. We got to keep pushing forward. We have to keep doing the work. We still have to wake up. We still have to do and listen, we may have to do it that much harder. And that's okay. And you want to know why that's okay? Because for the person who had to grind to get there, for the person who had to hustle hard to get to where their dreams are, where they want to be at, for the person who had to overcome odds and overcome poverty and overcome the hood and all this other stuff, there's something about those type of people. And here's what it is about those people. They know how to take a hit. Okay. They could get their butt kicked and still keep moving. We know how to handle adversity. We know how to handle failure. We know how to handle L's. Okay. How many times do we see somebody that something was handed to them, and as soon as life hit them, they can't figure it out? So you're not really at a disadvantage. You've got stamina. You know how to take a hit. What was the name of the football player that got drafted? Cleveland drafted him. What was his name? I have to Google it because I can't remember his name. Cleveland quarterback drafted, didn't last a full year. Oh, Johnny Manziel. Google's like, which one? I'm sorry, Cleveland Browns fans. I mean, your time's going to come pretty soon. Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel was an undersized quarterback. I think he played for Oklahoma or Texas. I can't remember, but I don't know if you remember Johnny Manziel, but he was like the ish, bro. He was like, that guy went to college and all the girls liked him. He was a great football player. Johnny Manziel. What college did he go to? Oh, I'm sorry. Johnny Manziel, he was a great football quarterback. He played for where did he play? Texas, right? Texas A&M. So he was undersized. He was 5'10", and they have him at 6'10", 6'0", but he was short, and he was just popular. Everybody loved him. But Johnny Manziel came from a very privileged background. Johnny Manziel came from money. Johnny Manziel didn't have a lot of barriers that he had to overcome. And he went to a football program that at the time was very popular. Texas A&M was bringing out, and they were winning games. Okay, so his high school years, he's playing, he's winning, he's knocking out people in high school. College, he's doing the same. He's got all kind of accolades. So listen to his just these are the awards. He Heisman Trophy winner, the Davey O'Brien Award winner, Manning Award. That's all 1 year. All in 1 year. AP College Football Player of the Year, 2012. Sporting News Player of the Year, 2012. SEC Offensive Player of the Year, 2012. Consensus All-American, 2012. Two-time, first-time All-SEC. That's 2012. So in 2012, he had all these awards. 2013, he wins the second all-time first-team SEC. Okay, Texas A&M. He's in the Hall of Fame with Texas A&M. Okay. He's got these crazy college stats, college round, and he was just he was a stud. Came from money, right? Always winning. He's always winning. He was one of those guys that if something good was going to happen, it was going to happen to Johnny. He gets drafted 2013. He's drafted to the NFL. He's drafted to the Cleveland Browns. Okay. 2014. First round, 22 pick. Now, he gets out of there. He's all about culture. He's super hot. He's hip. So he's doing this. He's taunting, right? He gets selected. He's walking up to the podium. He's a 22nd pick. The 22nd pick. That means 21 teams in the NFL was like, nah, pass. Because they were like, we don't know what happens to this dude if he gets popped. He hasn't really got hit by anybody. How does he take L's? That's something that people don't process. Like, how do you take an L? He's like, I'm never losing. So he's got the money. He's like, show me the money. He's ready to make a stint in the NFL. So then he goes, here's his NFL record. He plays one season. 7 wins, 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Passing rate 74.4, that's below par. Rushing yards 215, he was known as a runner. And only 1 rushing touchdown was 1,600 passing yards. Eventually ends up getting waived by the Cleveland Browns. Has like a really rough year or two in the league. He gets injured, plagued, he gets hit. He doesn't know how to take an L. Can you imagine being one of the top schools in the nation? You come out of high school, you just killing the game, and you everybody's star. You're the star dude on everything. You're the prom king, all this other stuff. Then you go to college, and they give you Hall of Fame. You get the Heisman Trophy win on your second season, the Davey O'Brien, the Manning Award, AP College Football Player of the Year Award, Sporting News Player of the Year, SEC Offensive Player of the Year. This is all the same freaking year. And you go into the league, and I'm about to tear this thing up in the league. Get gut punched and realize, dude, Cleveland sucks. You start taking L's, you start losing, right? And fans fans are brutal, bro. Especially when you get into like professional, fans are brutal. Especially Cleveland fans. Cleveland fans give you a hard time if you're not performing at a high level. And then you're the butt of everyone's joke. Can you imagine? You're the butt of everyone's joke, and you're thinking, well, and he had to be going into Cleveland thinking, well, because I'm a golden boy, I'm gonna turn this franchise around. We're gonna be champions over here in Cleveland. And the NFL was like, no, we got better plans for you. And they knocked this dude out of the league. I don't even think he did 2 full seasons playing. I know he sat on the bench a lot. This guy didn't know how to take an L. And he was having all these personal problems. Like he's struggling with alcohol. He's at strip clubs. He's just it's just really, really bad. He's getting in trouble. He's getting in trouble with the law. He's doing all these different things. The life kind of just took a toll on him. He wasn't able to bounce back from L's. He wasn't able to bounce back from the L's. He hadn't suffered a lot in life. He hadn't had a lot of struggles. And it sucks to say, but there are people who haven't had a lot of struggles. They're just people who haven't had a lot of struggles. It don't matter if you're black or white. There's just people who just they didn't struggle a lot, and they feel like, oh, it's just easy. I'll just start my business, or I'll just get in the league, or I'll just do this, and then they get hit with stuff, and they're like, dang, this is tougher than it is. You know, he loved football. Can't take that away from him. The man loved football, so he went on over to Canadian Football League and did worse. He did worse in the Canada Football League, and he got caught in drugs, and he started getting habits and addictions, and just his whole life just started to kind of unravel. And I think he's still in the process. He's only 30. He's still a young dude, so he has time to really kind of figure it out, fix things up. But he's been out of the limelight for a while now, and I think he's doing some work on himself. And I wish him the best. My point is, this man didn't have to worry about a lot. And then here we are. He takes some L's, and life is a little bit different. So just because it's because you're don't have all the same advantages that other people have, that doesn't mean that you're not worthy. That doesn't mean that you cannot make it. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything. It just means you have to fight a little bit harder. Okay. It's like, have you ever watched racing, NASCAR races? I still don't understand it. This may be the ignorant statement I'll make today. I make ignorant statements every day. So if you watch NASCAR, maybe you have to help me out. But they have polling positions, right? They race for positions, right? And if you don't have a good position, you're already starting on the wrong foot in the race. Am I wrong in saying that? I think that I'm accurate. Like, they didn't push back the finish line for you. So if I'm racing in the NASCAR 500, or I'm racing in a NASCAR series, and I'm the 30th car in position, 40th car, because they don't all start on the same line. They start 2 by 2. And then there's the first position, second position, third position, fourth position. There's somebody all the way back in 50th. Okay. They're in the same race, but they don't have the same advantages the car number 1 has. As a matter of fact, I can't, from my geography, I'm sorry. From my mathematical mind, I can't figure out how this is a fair race if you're starting in the 50th position compared to the person starting the first. And they'll say, oh, it's just an advantage, right? During football season, everyone gets, they get 9 away games, or 9 home games, or 8 home games, and they get the opposite away games. So if I have a football team now with 17 games, I get 9 home games and I get 8 away games. Okay, next year I'll get 9 away games and 8 home games. So it kind of balances itself out. But everyone plays the same amount of home games, everybody plays the same amount of away games. Now, at the end of the season, determining how you handle those games put you at different advantage positions in the playoffs. So when the playoffs come, there's teams that don't have to play first round in the football league. There's teams who don't have to play the first round. So they get to watch everybody battle each other out and come into the second round beat up and have already played the game while everyone's on their team is rested, relaxed, and took a week off. So throughout all of life, they have what's called home field advantage. So there's advantages everywhere you go, man. So just because that you're sat on it, just because you're brought into this world and you're trying to do something and you realize that you're at a disadvantage, because maybe you don't have the money, maybe you don't have the expertise, maybe you don't have the team, maybe you don't have the resources, maybe you don't have maybe you don't have the technology. But I've seen people with money, with technology, with support, friendships with bigwigs do absolutely nothing because they were rested on the fact that I have these advantages. The advantages are going to do it for me. For every rapper that come out of nowhere, that came from the slums and made it work, there are hundreds of rappers who were that guy's friends. 50 got friends that love hip hop and probably really talented guys. And 50 probably gave him opportunity, probably had the advantage because, that's an advantage. If you're one of 50's dudes and 50 looking at you like you got something, but then you have something, you don't take advantage of the advantage. You don't work hard. You're not willing to sacrifice. You're not willing to pay the price. And then you lose out on the opportunity. That happens all the time. I can think of names right now in the rap game that had opportunities, but they didn't want to do the work that somebody who held the door open for them promised them. Jay-Z had Beanie Siegel, he had Memphis Bleak, all these dudes, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna take over Def Jam." But this is what I did: follow these footsteps. They didn't follow it. Nas, 50, Nipsey, Snoop, Dre, they all. I could think of people that had like one song and then fell off. They had one opportunity, fell off because they weren't able to take advantage of the opportunity that was in front of them. And then they'll complain. This is the thing that bothers me the most. They complain. Oh, such and such did this and such did that. Oh, who is she sleep with to get that position? Blah 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 blah. And they did nothing with what was given to them. They sat there and said, "Oh, I'm just at this disadvantage because I'm black, or I'm at this disadvantage because I'm a woman, or I'm at this disadvantage because whatever the reason may be, because I'm gay, whatever the reason may be." You got to let that stuff go. If you're going to make it, if you're going to be successful, if you want to make a difference in 2023, you have to make those decisions to not look at that and make it a determining factor on your work ethic. Because here's the other side of it, bro. You working hard doesn't mean it's going to work. I've worked hard on a lot of projects that didn't work out. Okay. So I am actually of this person that battles the idea of, if you work hard, all your dreams come true. I don't believe that. I know people who work hard and their dreams didn't come true. As a matter of fact, Hebrews talks about those are people who believed and they didn't see it. There are people who believed and didn't see it. So that doesn't mean anything. But listen, the journey to working and grinding, and I'm not talking about hustle culture as much as I am just stop making excuses for yourself. Stop making excuses because things are not working out your way. You just got to keep moving forward. You got to keep doing what you got to do. Because yes, there is a chance that you can make it. But it's not, you don't want to be that guy making excuses. There's so many people that die making excuses. And being bitter. People get bitter because they didn't get put on. You know what I'm saying? You see your friend having like an incredible business and you didn't get put on. You grew up with that guy. And then next thing you know, he's doing tours or he's doing a project that you didn't get invited. And they're like, he knows who I want to be. Man, stop being mad because you didn't get put on. You grown, right? Figure it out yourself. Figure out how to get yours in. Figure out what your value is, what you bring to the table, and you grow on that area, right? Because here's the deal. Only you can decide what your value is in the marketplace. I mean, actually, you initially can decide. The marketplace will actually determine if you're right or not, right? So if the marketplace will determine if you're right or not. And if you're close, there's forgiveness. If you're not close, there's not forgiveness. But you still have the ability to adjust and change your value, right? So you still have that power. What you don't have is the right to be mad. You got to give that stuff up, bro. That right there, for me to sit here and tell people like the reason I'm not making it farther in life is because I'm black or because I'm fat or because I'm old. That is just pride that I'm assuming that everything belongs to me, that I have the right to everything. I don't have that right. I don't have the right. You know what I'm saying? I don't have it. What I have is I have a dream, I have a vision, and I have a work ethic. And guess what, man? You know what it's like to take hits. You know what it's like to take an L. An L means nothing. Is actually, I think we put too much emphasis on dubs and L's because an L just means one of two things. It means that you figured out one way not to make something happen, or you learned a lesson. We got to stop taking L's as loss. People make fun of people who take L's, man. Like, I'm playing baseball now. My team took a massive L. Massive. This is our second game of the season. We've lost both of them pretty badly. At this point, I'm just trying to get some work in. I want to get some exercise and just be a better ball player myself. So I had 2 strikeouts. Does 2 strikeouts mean I'm a bad ball player? No. 2 strikeouts does not mean I'm a bad ball player. Anthony Rendon had 2 strikeouts Saturday against the Oakland A's. I'm a huge Angel fan. I know, just give me grace. All right. I'm a Clipper fan. I'm an Angel fan. I don't know what this year looks like for neither one of them teams. But I will say Anthony Rendon was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts on Saturday. Hurt my feelings. Hurt my feelings. You should be 0 for 3. But I know that every game he's not going to be 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. So I know that every game I'm not going to be 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. I'm going to adjust. I'm going to figure out where my mistake is. And every game day, I'm at the batting cages and I'm hitting an hour worth of balls. Maybe, and I kept telling myself, well, maybe you need to do another hour. Or maybe you need to get with a little bit of a coach to show you maybe something's wrong with your stance. Maybe I'm not seeing the ball good. I knew I didn't see the ball good on Sunday, and I know on my last at bat I got emotional because I'm called a call that I didn't agree with. So all those factors, I process it and I go, okay. So next time I get in there, what did I learn to get the 2 strikeouts, and what did I learn so I don't strike out again? That's what L's are supposed to do. They're supposed to be teaching moments to help us get to the next stage. People take an L and then they quit. Like, yo, I can't do this no more. I'm out. Yeah, boy. Like, you just don't need to do all that. Learn what you got to learn and get to the next stage. Okay. At least you're in the game. Right? People make music. Cats make music. I know there's one cat who makes good music. I listen to it. It sounds good. He's caught up on how many likes and how many streams. And he makes decisions off of likes and streams. Those are vain numbers. Those aren't real numbers. Those are vanity numbers. But for 5 years, he's still caught in that mix. Those are vain numbers. You can't look at those numbers and make decisions off your career. Right? Now you don't want to do it at all. But some people get the advantage moment and they come off first album. Some people maybe won't hit till 10. Some people won't hit at all. But guess what? If they didn't hit it all, guess what? He got 25 years of great music that maybe he likes for himself. And people think, well, that's a waste of resources. That said, someone who says that ain't got nothing. Because I got nothing but respect for somebody who stayed in the game 20 years because he loved it. You know what I'm saying? And if you make $100 here and there, you make $100, every other month because of shows, small little shows here and there, and you make $100 every other month. Guess what, bro? You're making money off a hobby. It may be $100 every other month. That's a great place to start. That's a win. Bro, I tell people all the time, my last album did really well. And the album before that, I think is a classic album. I think Hope is a classic album. So Hope and Dreams, Vision, Memories, great Ramon albums. Okay. And I think this new one is going to be an even better album. But before then, I was like trickling numbers. My numbers trickled like 100 people. Instagram, listen, your friends ain't going to support you until they figure out that you're a star, because people only think about themselves, right? Because I support people, but a lot of people just don't support you like that. They just don't support you like that. So if you're going to be an artist or you want to start a business and you think your 500 or 1,000 friends on Instagram just going to come and be, they're going to start off being supporters of you are sadly mistaken. They ain't showing up. Okay. They're not showing up. They're going to wait. They're going to wait to see how many hits you take, to see if you're still standing. And they'll still do that because people are going to do one thing. They'll either compare to you or compete to you. That's why they're not hitting you up. That's why they're not liking you. But post on your social media that you got a job at McDonald's. Everybody's going to like it. Everybody's going to comment, congratulations, because that's how people are. That's how people are. When you do things that are within the Matrix realm, they're going to get the likes and you're going to get the support. But you start your podcast, you start your radio station, you start your music career, you start your acting career, you start your business, you start your catering business, you start selling real estate. Watch your 1,000 people not say anything to you. There's somebody who's watching you. There's people who are going to compete with you. There's people who are going to compare to you. And then there's people who are watching you and they won't say anything. I'm one of those guys. I'll watch you and won't say anything. I'm supporting you, and I need to get better at putting my money where my support is. Hello, that's another show in itself. But watch. Let 50 call you. Right? Let 50 call you and be like, yo, I like your stuff, man. I want to do something with you. Every one of your 1,000 friends are going to hit you up. That's just how people are. That's how people are. They want to compete or compare. So it ain't got nothing to do with you. You're not a bad artist. You're not a bad business owner. You don't suck at what you do. You just need to figure out another realm outside of social media to build your market. You need to find strangers who don't know you to support you, because that's who's going to support you the most. You need to find your market of people who are not trying to compete with you, not trying to compare to you, but they generally like what you have to offer and they're going to support you. Okay. So get off this junk, get off this mindset that the reason that you're not making it in life is because you're Black. That is not the reason you're making it. You're not making it because you're not letting yourself make it. You're letting stuff get in your head and you're letting it shut you down. It's not because you're a woman. You're letting it get to you and you're letting it get to your head. And you are performing based on what you think other people feel about you. And that's a horrible way to live your life. It's a horrible way to live your business. It's a horrible way to do anything. Okay. You are not going to find love that way. You're not going to find success that way. You're not even going to find happy. You definitely damn sure ain't going to find no happiness that way. So get off of yourself. Give yourself a break. All right. Take the advantage of being disadvantaged, because you know how to take L's. You know what it's like to be broke. You know what it's like to be alone. You know what it's like to be the only one at the table. You know what it's like to build something and nobody show up. That stuff, nobody can take away from you. The energy that you've learned from those moments, nobody can take from you. And when the opportunity comes, you'll know what it looks like. That's what true hustlers are. People call me a hustler all the time. And for the longest time, it was like I felt like a certain way about it, to the point where I felt good about it a certain way, but not for the right reasons. But at the end of the day, you know what a hustler truly is? A hustler is somebody who knows the opportunity and knows how to be ready. Hustlers, we just stay ready for opportunities, and we don't let things like disadvantages get in the way. We have plans, we have a goal, we stick to it, and when the opportunity comes, we shoot quick, and we shoot ready, and we stay ready. And that's what I want you to do today. I don't want you to think because homeboy got what he got. Listen, there's always going to be a homeboy that gets what he gets because he was born into it. And guess what, dog? Ain't you. Stop crying. Stop crying. Stop complaining about it. Oh, well. But you were sitting in bed dreaming that you wish you were that guy, looking at him taking nice trips and wishing it was you, bro. And they're, you don't know what they know. You don't know if they're working at all. That home dude there's certain somebody who talking about all this stuff, and they got 100,000 followers on social media just because of who their daddy is. And they're doing trips. They're going around the world. They're taking these great shots on the yacht, but they don't know nothing about anything. If daddy goes, their money is gone. If they had to do it themselves, they couldn't do it. And people watching them wishing they could be them. No, you're not, bro. That person's lost as soon as they take an L. And bro, you need to get with God, because the end is here. I can't stress this enough. The end is here. If you believe biblically like I do, the end is here. And guess the first thing that's going to take the hit is the money. You think 2020 was something? You think 2008 was something? You think 2012 was something? 2023 and 24 is going to be emotionally one of the hardest years that people are going to have to go through. I'm telling you. And it's going to attack our money first. So you better get your head together, bro. Because it's the grimy that will survive in the next few years. Mark my words. Yo, that's my epic thoughts for today. 848-207-2631. Show up, bro. Get on the super phone and then find out what's going on with Heritage Park stuff. We got a lot of stuff going on. I want you to be part of it, man. HeritageParkProd.com. That's where you can find all your information about Heritage Park. It needs to be updated. Don't hate me on the website. Currently, I'm working by myself. I got some people that I'm talking to help. But that's another thing, bro. Some people waiting for people to show up, bro. You have to make your own crew. I learned that today. Like, I got to make my own crew. It's fine. You got to make your own crew. You got to make things happen. You got to do you, bro. You got to do you. And you don't have time to waste and wait. All right? I don't even know if this is a good episode. You tell me. Okay, leave a review. Get on iTunes, leave a review for Epic Thoughts. Thanks for listening to on Spotify. Thanks for watching on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you guys are watching stuff out. This was pre-recorded, so that's why no one's comments came up. But God bless you, man. I'm about to go have some birthday cake with my daughters. Today is their birthday. They turned 10. Can you believe it? My twins are 10. That's nuts. These kids is growing up so fast. But God bless you guys. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Talk to you next week. All right. Peace.